will be live streaming going forward from now on, every race. We will continue to upload the streams to the podcast places. So please tell your friends about us. Get your family involved. Formula One is the fastest growing sport in the world. There's about 100 million people just got through watching the Austrian Grand Prix. So have all your friends and family become part of it. Welcome, Formula One fans. This is the Formula One News Hour. I'm your host, Jonathan Steele. And this week we have Las Vegas, the city of lights. Been to Vegas many times, not a big fan of it. And of course, didn't ask for a press pass to go to this particular event. Actually, this is what they're calling this, the inaugural Vegas Grand Prix, but of course they had one some 40 years ago. I think it was 1982 was the last one they had there. So it's not the inaugural one, it's the return to Las Vegas. And by all the reports coming out, the return has not been met quite as... let's say, with as much enthusiasm as the Formula One folks were hoping. Some $500 million has been spent on putting together this race. Ticket sales are way down. Packages that were 150, 125,000. Yeah, you heard me right. 125, 150,000. Those packages have not been scooped up, and even general admission tickets and everything have been not flying off the shelves either. So some early, I wouldn't say early, some early problems for the Las Vegas Formula One. Of course, on Thursday we had the 8-minute practice session fiasco, which not only damaged the fans, but of course got Carlos Sainz slapped with a 10-place grid penalty because he was the unlucky guy that happened to run over a manhole cover. It flew off and damaged his power unit, his power pack, so they had to replace it. So, of course, this was the fault of FIA, right? I mean, the FIA, and folks, there's a difference between Formula One and FIA. Formula One are the folks that put on the race. The FIA is the sanctioning body. They make sure the tracks are good. They're the ones, you see the marshals, you see everybody making these decisions about whether this is good and that's not good. Then all of those rules and things like that come out of the FIA. So anyway, they decided in their wisdom that they would slap Carlos Sainz with a penalty, and at the same time they would slap the spectators with a penalty because after 8 minutes they threw them all out, and in a sign of a great gesture of we're the nice guys, they offered them a $200 voucher to go buy some expensive stuff at the of all places at the shops where you buy your shirts and all the merchandise. So anyway, that's resulted in a class action lawsuit because of course all of the spectators, which there weren't that many by the way, apparently only some 20 to 30,000 showed up for that Thursday evening's showing for free practice 1 and 2. Not a great start. They got themselves a lawsuit. The thing that's worse than the lawsuit, I think, is the bad publicity. They got themselves some really bad publicity. So going in, of course, these night races are driving us all nuts. Why are we having a night race at Las Vegas? It's cold this time of year out in Las Vegas at nighttime, so it's not a great look for the drivers or the spectators. For that matter. The ticket sales for Friday's qualifying session were also way down. They were expecting somewhere around 100,000, and they have apparently somewhere in the 50 to 60,000. Enthusiastically, they're saying 60,000, but way off what the expectations were, which is sad. It's really sad because, Formula One is enjoying a revival of sorts. Back in the 60s and 70s, of course, it was very, very popular. They weren't pulling the fans and everything like they are today, but it was popular against amongst the real car enthusiasts. So remember, over here in the United States, the 70s were the era of the muscle car. cars, and of course they've all since gone away. But anyway, we're excited to bring you the Formula One of Las Vegas. And we'll want to start by thanking our sponsors. We want to thank Synology, the sponsors we've had from the very beginning. Synology, a small data center technology provider in Austin, Texas. Guys, if you need co-location, if you need private cloud, public cloud, storage, any technology needs, give the folks at Synology a chance to earn your business. That is at Synology.com. Synology.com. And of course, Moms for Liberty, out there fighting every day to try and improve our schools for our kids, get rid of all of this woke and sexual agenda stuff, and get the kids back learning math and English and science, the things they're going to need after they graduate from school. They've got nearly 200 chapters here in the United States, so please get out there and help Moms for Liberty, because they're helping you. Their whole mission is to make the schools a better place. So go to momsforliberty.org. That's momsforliberty.org. And of course, our good friends at Give, Send, Go. You can't help what happens to you in life, but you can certainly help who you choose to get help to help you out. And the folks at Give, Send, Go, one of the two leading crowdfunding entities out there, they're able to help you if you need help. By getting people to contribute money to help you. You might want to help a friend or just help some people that have been victims in some of these disasters, or help the victims that have been wrongfully charged with a crime, like the guy in New York who decided to help some people on a train and ended up getting charged with manslaughter because the guy that was creating all the havoc ended up dying. So anyway, please go to givesendgo.com. That's givesendgo.com. And so we are going to start bringing you this live. So get the volume turned down here so it doesn't disturb our great and producer, director, all things technical, Andre Kuhn. So, of course, this circuit goes through the streets of Las Vegas. Some of it, they had to buy some property, but they have essentially turned the strip into the fastest part of the track, and it has not been met with great enthusiasm by the locals. It's going to be 50 laps, so that means it's quite a long straightaway. There are 17 turns throughout the course, and of course they're doing a really nice job of showing that here on the TV. We're going to have the 3 compound tires. We're going to have the soft, the medium, and the hard. We're not expecting any rain, so there won't be any need for the wet tires. And so when we start looking at the Vegas scenery, I don't like Vegas because it's just too much glitz and too much noise for me. But starting on the 20th is Yuki Tsunoda and Lance Stroll in 19th, Oscar Piastri in 18th, and Joe Granu in 17th. And then we've got Esteban Ocon in 16th, followed by Lando Norris in 15th. That's kind of a strange place. Danny Ricciardo starting in 14th alongside Nico Hülkenberg. And then we've got Carlos Sainz in 10th position. So it doesn't look like he actually got hit with a full 10. And then we've got Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso in 8th and 9th, followed by Kevin Magnussen and Valtteri Bottas. It's good to see Bottas and Magnussen up there. The Williams teams look like they like this track. Logan Sargent and Esteban and I can come out in a minute. I'm reading the other ones. Okay, so, and Pole, the guy that's doing a really good job of getting pole positions, but not winning the races, is Charles Leclerc, although some of the pundits have picked him to win this race. So we're going to be going to the formation lap in just a few minutes, but Alex Albon is the other Williams driver that I didn't get out in time as I was reading off the starting grid. Verstappen is starting in second place. That's the second week in a row that he's been starting that. It's interesting to see the Williams cars up ahead of the McLarens. because Williams has struggled and the McLarens have. We've got Pierre Gasly, who's had kind of a tough time, and Lewis Hamilton, of course, who's just had a tough year. He's just, as he's clapping his hands and everything, they're all in their kind of warm suits. They got the tire heaters on, the blankets that they put on the tires that they're talking about taking away next year to keep the tires warm, getting ready to go for this race and for every race. But they're going to get rid of that, and the tire warmers come off. The teams leave the cars, and we're about to get going. But to bring up some more stuff here on this Las Vegas race, and I don't see the attendance, what the attendance is. They're showing, of course, a lot of Las Vegas has got a large Latino community because they support, of course, all of the hotels and restaurants and stuff like that. So there's a lot of Latino fans out there watching. How many in total we don't know yet, but I'm sure we'll find out as the race goes on. Everybody is starting on medium tires, with the exception of Hamilton's on hard, Joe Granu, Oscar Piastri's on hard, and then Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda are on soft. So let's see, we've got George Russell starting up in third place, so that's pretty good for Mercedes. I was reading, not reading, but watching a video. I'm going to take a little sip of tea here to help with my allergies. I was listening, watching a thing. Why the Red Bull cars, and what Adrian Newey, who is the lead technology guy at Red Bull, why they're having so much better a year this year than the Mercedes and other cars. And we've seen, apparently, like McLaren, they made some of the upgrades, and their upgrades were actually to copy some of the suspension things that Adrian Newey put in place. So one of the things that Adrian Newey put in place was on how the wheels are attached to the frame on the torsion bar. And so his whole goal through the year was when you're in your car and you hit the brakes, the front end dips down, and even the back end settles down. Well, in a Formula One car, when that happens, then you change the ground effects, and so the car doesn't get sucked down as evenly. And so what Adrian Newey did was he set up the suspension on those Red Bulls, so when the car hits the brakes, it actually just stays completely level. So the front doesn't dip and the back doesn't go down. The whole car settles down together, so they don't lose the ground effects that help keep the car snugly on the road. So there's the pundits out there are saying next year we'll probably see all of the cars kind of go to that setup on the suspension. Of course, that setup on the suspension is driven by the aerodynamics, right? So as we watch, it looks pretty cold out there in Las Vegas, folks. Everybody's got their winter woolies on, and except there's a tough guy, right? Well, he's from the UK, so 60 degrees is a nice warm summer's evening to him. So he's got his short sleeves on, but he's the only one so far. So far, the crowd, the stands, at least what the cameras are showing, and that may be deliberate, look like they've got a pretty good attendance. So now they're just bringing up the attendance, 315,000, which is, I would say, well, one, it's 115,000 less than Austin, Texas, for COTA, less than Miami, and I'm sure a lot less than what the folks were expecting. 315,000, nothing to sneeze at, but not what they were expecting as the cars come in off their formation lap and get ready to go. Okay, so we are just waiting for the, looks like the, let's say, Alfa Romeo pulling up there as we're now in the driver's seat with Max Verstappen. And the green flag goes, so we'll be watching the lights. 4, 5, and go they will. And a good start by Leclerc, very good start. Let's see what's going to happen here. Verstappen's got him on the inside, and they're both off the track going into it, but Verstappen is going to pull ahead on the inside So we got a yellow flag out straight away, though. What's happened? And it's back to green. So probably because they left the track, they pulled that yellow flag out. So let's see, what are we doing? Oh, and Verstappen is maintaining that flag. Now we've got another yellow flag. So somewhere along the way, we've lost somebody. Who have we lost? No, now they've gone back to green as we come through the set of chicane turns here, and everything looks good. We've got Perez, looks like he's in the middle of the field. Didn't actually say exactly what position he was starting there when I was reading off the starting grid. But he comes through there. He's in the middle of the pack, so they're going to give it. And Verstappen is already pulling away from Leclerc. So, and we see the two Williams. Actually, the Williams cars have got separated, so it looks like some of them. One of the Williams cars lost a position there during the start. So Alonso is saying that he has damage to his car. So let's see, Bottas has dropped all the way down. So there must have been some altercation there between the Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin. So Alonso is also back there. So it had to have been, there was an altercation. Didn't see it. Cameras didn't pick it up. We've got a virtual safety car. So that means that probably there's a piece coming off of the car of Alonso as we watch them all now drop down to 40% of the speed they were doing. And we're watching, who are we watching come into the pits? That is Verstappen into the pits. Oh, I see. Oh, they're changing out his nose cone. Interesting. Very, very interesting. He must have brushed with Leclerc. So he's got lucky there on the virtual safety car because he can get all the way back around. And now who we've got? Now we've got, I'm going to guess it's Alonso coming in. Let's see what they're going to do for him. And they're going to do the same thing, change out the nose cone and change out his right front tire. So all very fast and nicely done. So they do this under the virtual safety car as we watch the world's greatest soccer player. Not. He thinks he is, but I'm talking about the Brit. His name will come to me in a minute. So they're going to show a race start again here. So we'll see what happens in the back end as they'll focus in here. And we see, I think Verstappen and Leclerc touched. And that's why, and the Bottas spun out. So let's see, they're going to show a close-up of Leclerc as they go into the turn. He goes off. I don't see what happened to the nose cone of Verstappen, unless it's right here. No, he doesn't touch him. I don't know why they changed out that nose cone. He never touched him. So that's really interesting that they felt like they had to bring him in and change out that nose cone. Now we're on board with Logan Sargent, and let's see what happened to him. Whoa! And Alonso just spun out, and he's lucky he didn't gather a bunch of people. So this is what happens when you get that. So Verstappen is back out on the track. Of course, under a safety car, you can't change positions. So Verstappen got his nose cone changed out for whatever reason and came back out in first place again. So let's see. Alex Albon, they're showing him he has moved up 10 positions. Logan Sargent is right there behind him. So the two Williams cars are doing really well. Oscar Piastri is doing really well. He has jumped up. If you remember, he started off in 19th. He's up to 12th, ahead of his teammate now. Lando Norris started 13th, and is still in 13th. But Piastri has managed to get past him and taken that 12th position away. So the yellow safety car has gone away, and we now have all of the cars back safely under race conditions. They're showing Carlos Sainz as the fastest lap right now, and they've just enable DRS. So I don't see anybody right now that's in DRS zone. So I don't think it makes a lot of difference. There's quite a few seconds. Oh, somebody's lost it here in turn 3. It is Lando Norris. Lando Norris is out. That is going to bring on a safety car. And so part of the problem, I'm sure, is getting these cars to stick to the ground with these cold temperatures in Las Vegas, that the tires are not warming up fast enough and the cars are not getting the grip. You just, as I mentioned earlier, so Alonso go through and he literally the car just spun around 360 on him. So the grip that they were expecting is not there. So it's a really sad day for Lando Norris, because those McLaren cars the last few weeks have just had really, really good luck. They're showing he's lost his left rear wheel, is it? Yeah, he's lost his left rear wheel, and so maybe a tire blew out or something. I don't know what, that would be really interesting, because it looks like he's driven straight into the safety barriers as they bring in who was that? Lance Stroll coming in for a pit stop, and now we've got also. We have the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz in for a pit stop. I wonder why they're not getting the grip, obviously, out of the tires that they wanted. So they're going to they're still all but Tsunoda is still on the soft tire. And I see there's a bunch of people that are now changing off to hard tires. So they've got off the soft, off the medium, and onto the hard. So they got to be thinking two things. One, the hard tires are getting a better grip than the medium, but also maybe the tires come with it. And sure enough, they just showed a replay of Lando Norris, and he just absolutely spun. No, something had to have gone wrong with that car. He's going down the straightaway, and all of a sudden the car is going sideways. Let's see if they can show us a better view of that. Okay, we're on board. He goes through. Oh, no, he lost it going through a slight curve right there. So, whoa, that's no grip on the cars. That's the issue right there. No grip. So that's not a good sign, not just for Lando Norris, but for all of the drivers. And Lewis Hamilton does an excellent job of avoiding, in fact, he has to leave the track, of avoiding Lando. Fortunately, Lando is not injured in that. He's out of the car. As everybody, and we watch Lando now climbing into the safety car, actually the medical car, climbing into the medical car away from the wreck. I don't think he needs the medical car, but it was quite a nasty spin that he took. Now, the good news is it's not going to take very long to get that car off the track, because it's right at an exit point right there. There's a slip road where they can go and leave the track if they can't make the turn. But of course, he never even had a chance to make the turn. And it is a safety car that he's riding. I think the safety car's painted red like the medical cars this weekend. So let's see what Leclerc is having to say. They're not going to show it. So we're still under yellow safety car conditions. We've only got 4 laps into this race. So, a lot of the drivers have been pretty critical also. As a whole, they don't like racing on street courses. They much prefer a purpose-built track. They all love Austin, right? They say it's one of the best tracks on the Formula One calendar. So as we watch again the restart, and we watch, it looked like Leclerc actually touched Verstappen, because the front of his car just bobbled just a little bit. Now we're going to be on board with Alonso and find out exactly what happened to him. And he goes into the turn and his car just doesn't turn, just no grip at all. And then he got hit by, who is that? I can't see with the lights. The lighting is really bad. I wonder if they're having trouble seeing. Oh, he got hit by Valtteri Bottas. The Alfa Romeo has changed the color of the cars this week. Interesting. So he got hit by Valtteri Bottas, and there's nothing but one Bottas's fault. He just ran into the front Fortunately, though, twice he ran into the front of it. Fortunately, neither car had a lot of damage, so they changed out the nose cone on Alonso, and he's fine. And Bottas didn't appear like he had any damage at all. Now, I see what happened. It was Alonso, let's see, did Alonso lose it, or did Bottas run into the back of him? We're on board with Carlos Sainz right now, who whacks out. Carlos Sainz ran right into the right rear of somebody. I can't figure out who it was, but obviously these cars are not able to stay on the road or the street circuit as it is. Of course, this being Las Vegas, they've got lights everywhere. So they got this great big dome out there, and on the outside of the dome is written, it tells you what the condition on the track is. So right now it's got safety car written around it. It looks dark even on these. It is dark, but I don't think that they've done a really good job of lighting this track. Hamilton's getting on telling everybody that his car is okay. He started 10th, and 5 laps in, he's down to 12th. But Mercedes have just not had a good year at all. And, there's only one race left. So I think this is going to be a year that Lewis Hamilton is not going to win a race. Because, like I said, there's one race left, and he doesn't have the car, but also myself and the great Jackie Stewart believe that his days of winning are over. He doesn't have it anymore. He doesn't. You can see in his driving style, he doesn't have. What is it? Ayrton Senna said, when you see the gap, you have got to drive into the gap. You've got to take that risk. And you used to see Hamilton doing that. You don't see him. The last couple of years, you don't see him taking any kind of a risk at all. So anyway, we're now 6 laps into this 50-lap race. I think this track for 50 laps is pretty long. I think it's actually like 3.6 miles long. That's a pretty one. It's got a very long straightaway. A lot of people have been saying that if you take the lap design, it looks like a pig upside down. So anyway, that's a pig on its side rather, not upside down. Now there's some interesting stuff going on up front because Leclerc now has DRS on Verstappen. So that is going to be very, very interesting. What is it about that Verstappen car? And by the way, the pundits are actually picking Leclerc to win this race. So some of the pundits are saying this is Leclerc's race to win, that he has the car and everything to win it. And they are bringing in George Russell early on those medium tires. He's only got 15 laps. Why are they bringing him in so early as we watch Verstappen? It's something got to be with the grip on his car, because he should be able to stay way ahead of that. And he was, in fact, way ahead. He got the fastest lap. But right now, as we watch George Russell come down into the pits, let's see why they brought him in. Is it just for tires? It looks like it is just for tires. Interesting. So that's going to be tough for him to handle as we watch Leclerc trying to put a move on Verstappen and get past him. He's within a car length. So let's see. He's 0.3 of a second behind. So he's got a really good DRS. And whatever it is, there's something either with Verstappen's not feeling well, or there's something with that car, because he's about to be passed, and there's not a lot that he's going to be able to do about it. So as we get a view of a hotel, that's really good, folks. We really wanted to, because what we're getting now is my tires are going to get really something, mate. Oh, so he's worried about his tires. And we just saw George Russell come in for tires. So maybe these medium tires are not getting the distance. Oh, they're bringing him in. They're going to bring him in. So he'll serve his 5-second penalty as they bring him in, and that will put Leclerc ahead, and he'll come out. Leclerc will come out. So Verstappen's going to come out rather behind him, and he's going to have a 5-second lead. So let's see what tire Verstappen puts on here as he comes down pit road. They're saying 21 seconds on a pit stop. So he's going to come out right about 7th or 8th by his teammate. Or the serving. I was going to say, wow, that's a long pit stop, but he had to serve the penalty. So yeah, it was at 7.7 seconds. So that was kind of understood to be. So let's see where they're showing him coming out. They're showing him coming out in 11th. Who else? Albon just came in and Piastri came in. So these tires are not lasting. And George Hamilton saying he's got a puncher. So these tires, this is going to be the story of this race. I think these tires are not holding up the way everybody expected. As Oscar Piastri found himself in a rather dicey situation. His cars, what is going on over there? His tires are flat. What is going on with all of the tires? Piastri's tires are flat. His car is literally skidding. Not skidding, but the base plate on the back of the cars that protect the underbody of the car, and Piastri's car was scraping along the ground. So let's see. Verstappen is back up to where? He's in 11th, so he's got new tires. Let's see what he's gone to the hard tire. So some Hamilton radio. Let's see. Cars not stopping. Cars not stopping. That would suggest brakes. So let's see. Russell's out. So we're seeing. Let's see. Leclerc's got a 15-second lead on Ocon, but remember, Leclerc hasn't pitted yet for tires. So when that happens, you're going to see, you'll see as we watch. Now we're watching a bunch of them come down. Gasly's coming down. Hamilton is coming down. Hamilton stops, gets his new tires. What happened there? Oh no, that's a disaster for Hamilton. 6.3 seconds. What happened there? I'm wondering if the temperatures on the wheels are giving these guys issues when they're changing. As the metal has not expanded enough on the wheels, so when they go to pull it off, it's sticking a little bit because it's colder. As we watch a bunch of cars all bunched up here on the chicane, and we watch them. Whoa, Hamilton just took out, he had to cut across, and one of the Aston Martins came right by him, but he had to leave the track and come back in. So Verstappen now is up to 9th. So he's right behind George Russell, who pitted just a little bit before him, as we watch Sergio Pérez go past Gasly. Took away that 9th position away from Gasly. Perez is now in 2nd position. Well, what am I? Sorry, I was looking at Verstappen and not Perez. So yeah, he just passed Esteban Ocon for 2nd place. But remember, all of these guys have got to stop for tires. So it's at the end of the day, they're all going to swap their positions back again as we watch now Verstappen. Stern involving cars Piastri and Hamilton. No further investigation. That's because they both had tire issues. So anyway, let's see. So Lance Stroll is up in 4th position and Alonso is in 6th. But like I said, all that'll change when Verstappen gets past him. Pit wall live, Zach Brown. Going to be talking about what happened to Lando Norris. Of course, I don't have the sound on, because if I had the sound on, then it would make life really rough for our great producer and all things technical, Andre Kuhn. So wow, these cars are bottoming out a lot on this street track. And you know what that's thing. Have you ever been on a boat? Going on a fast boat going across the water and it's bouncing off the waves. So third. That's what these guys are going through in these cars. When these cars are bottoming out, it's literally a third. It's not very pleasant at all, especially at those speeds. So as we're watching now, Verstappen is about to get past George Russell and take away that position. And that will put him up. Let's see. So George Russell passed Joe Granu. Now Verstappen's got to pass them both. So and he's got DRS there, so he's okay. So let's see. Joe Granu has yet to stop. Ocon has yet to stop, and Leclerc has yet to stop. Perez has stopped, but he stopped at the very beginning, so he's got to make another stop. Carlos Sainz had to stop at the very beginning. Same with Stroll. And no, Stroll came later, but Alonso. So a lot of these cars, as we watch now, Max Verstappen really close in tight behind George Russell, and take away that position from him. So as we get on board with them, and you can see that these cars are just not sticking to the track. Like you can tell the drivers just don't feel comfortable in those cars anymore, and it's really interesting to watch because the cars almost look like they're floating. It's like when you see the street cars and they're on icy roads. That's what watching these drivers in these cars right now. That's the feeling that you get that they're on icy roads. As we watch Leclerc we're watching a replay. I think we're watching a replay of him going past Max Verstappen, but Verstappen had already been told to box, so he wasn't going to fight for that position. As we watch, and of course all the Ferrari guys are very, very happy that Leclerc passed him, and of course the fans that are Ferrari fans are very happy. And folks, it looks really cold in Las Vegas tonight. That's just crazy. But I remember those days of going to Formula One race when it was really cold, windy, and in Europe a lot. We had spoiled by the weather here in Austin, Texas. But we've had a couple of races where it was cold and wet and windy. We don't get many, but every now and then we do get them. So, but still the reasoning behind, which has got to be TV, I'm thinking, for the European audience, that it's what so there's 6, 7, so it's like 8 and 9 o'clock respectively between the UK and the European countries. So, but still, they could have waited. Well, they could have waited till 8 o'clock in the morning, and it would have been. And now they're going to bring in Leclerc. So let's see where he will end up. As Verstappen is not battling through the field like you would expect him to. I mean, he's close, and I've no doubt that he'll get back up there. As we watch Leclerc, another slow pit stop. Yeah, 4 seconds. Something weird is going on. They're having difficulty not putting the wheels on, but it's like the wheels are sticking to the spindles. These are not like they've got a big nut that's on a spindle, right? And so the spindle's got splines on it, and the wheels, and Verstappen's just done the fastest lap again. Anyway, the wheels got these splines. So if the wheel hasn't heated up enough, then the spline is sticking on the wheel, is sticking to the spindle on the car itself. So it looks like that's the issues they're having. They're having issues, nuts coming off fine, but they're having issues pulling the wheel off, and that is got to be temperature related. I would think that's the only thing that would have changed between all the different races and this one is this. They're racing under pretty cold conditions. So as we really watch now Verstappen battling it out with George Russell and Alonso and stuff. So he's going to take away those two positions any moment, which will put him up into fifth, which will be right behind Leclerc. Perez is on hard tire. Lance Stroll finds himself in second place. As we watched, is Verstappen going to get past him this time, or is he going to hold back? The problem they've got is a DRS train, right? As Verstappen is, I mean, he's probably not more than a few feet off the rear bumper of George Russell as we actually are on board with him. And at one time you couldn't see anything. You watching what he's seeing, all he can see is tires and spoiler, rear end spoiler, as we watch him go past him right now. And that's it. He takes away that position nicely. So now he's just got Alonso, and he will be up into fifth place behind Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, Stroll and Perez, who is at the moment leading the race. But like I say, he's actually, when you think about it, he's done extremely well because, well, he managed to pit under the yellow flag. So, but still, he started from, he's after that pit, he started from kind of way back in the field. So Perez is having himself a good day because, you know, there's talk that Danny Ricciardo will move from AlphaTauri up to Red Bull, and that Perez will move from Red Bull down to AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri is owned by, it's like the sister team for Red Bull. So all of the decisions for those two teams, especially with the drivers, get made by Helmut Marko. So who at the end of the season, here we're going to bring you an interview we did with Helmut at the track here in Austin, Texas, and he and I had some really interesting conversations about the technology in these cars, and maybe some things that should be done about it. I won't give it away, but it's his opinions and my opinions on this are very well intertwined, and it comes out in that interview. So I'll just leave it there. But please, when that comes out, we're going to release that out during the off season. So please tune in and listen to that podcast because it's a very interesting podcast. We have a couple of other things that we are saving from Austin as well, and one is with just one of the technician engineers from the Williams teams. As we watched Leclerc again, it's a replay, so they were showing again. Yeah, they just couldn't get the right front wheel to come off. So anyway, yeah, back to we did an interview with just one of the team members, which is one of the things we're trying to do in the off season as well, is talk to some of the behind the scenes folks, so you can get an idea of what it's like to be kind of a just on a Formula One team, not the star, not the principal, not any of that kind of stuff, but just to be on a Formula One team. And it's very, very interesting. You know, these are folks that are married and they have children and families, and they spend all of these weeks a year on the Formula One circuit. So it's an interesting life. It's not all glitz and glamour, as you'll pick up from the interview, but certainly, they enjoy it. They love what they do, and it shows in the product that they give us. So, as we watch George Russell and now Max Verstappen go past Carlos Sainz, like he's standing still. So Verstappen got past Russell, and then he got Russell because of Carlos Sainz managed to get past again, but Verstappen now is up into fifth place. He is now just 3 seconds behind Leclerc, and Leclerc is losing ground to Russell. So after that tire change, that Ferrari is not very happy with the setup of the tires that got put on there. So, and now we're looking, the fastest lap has just been given to Esteban Ocon. So Ocon now, as we watch. Oh, did he? No, he didn't. I was watching. I was going to say if Verstappen was going to pass George Russell right then, but he's not going to. He can. He's like I say, he's on his bumper. Well, they don't have bumpers, but he's a few feet away from his rear wheel. So let's put it that way. Crazy, 200 miles an hour, and you're within a couple of feet of the car in front. As we watch now. As he comes through the chicanes and comes back out into the straight line, we'll watch him and he makes it right now. He makes the move to take. Oh, and Russell went straight on. What happened? There's debris on the track, so we need a yellow flag. There is debris on the track. That is crazy. Come on, guys, let's get a replay going. Something happened. Was it a piece off? Did Max Verstappen get too close? No, we're getting on board with Leclerc's car. Oh, and let's see. This is sorry. Sometimes I focus and I'm trying to focus in and see exactly what's going on. Because Leclerc got past Lance Stroll to take over second place, and Verstappen is just a mate. He just turned into me. Check my tire, my front wing. So you have tire is okay for now. Stay out for now. Okay. So yeah, so what happened was it's pieces of Verstappen's front wing. Well, let's hope they give us a replay on that. But I mean, it doesn't seem to have affected his car performance because he is already a full second and a half up on George Russell. But there was a little piece of something came flying off that car, and now we've got the replay. So Verstappen comes up, and he's way off and way to the left of him. Oh no! So yeah, sorry, a little piece dropped on the track. They're going to show it right here. And let's see, Verstappen. Oh, he did too. Verstappen's right. He just turned right into him. Yeah, that should be a 5-second penalty. What the hell was he thinking there? He's lucky. So Verstappen, a whole chunk of Verstappen's front wing came off on the right-hand side. That is crazy. And out comes the yellow flag in a safety car. So this is a great, we'll watch Hannah Smith bring Verstappen in right here. Because he needs he needs his nose cone swapped out again. So 13 seconds, but they can't. Perez is in the pit. Verstappen has been told to pit like I thought they would, and they'll put a nose cone back on him, and out Perez goes. A very nice stop for Perez, 2.4 seconds, and in comes Verstappen. And sorry, that's actually showing Perez going back out. So all your top 4 or 5 cars are in the pits. Everybody is in the pits. So in comes Leclerc. Now they had no problem with the tires right there, so that's very interesting. And where's Verstappen? He's let's see, Verstappen is on the pit exit. So they didn't change out his nose cone. They left him with that nose cone. So that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. We watched that front of that car on the. So I'm going to see if they're going to have a 5-second penalty here coming up for George Russell, because he did turn right into, as we watch him in the pits and come out of the pits, a race involving Russell and noted causing a collision. Yeah, so he may even get a 10-second penalty for that one. So, he made a left turn right into him. That was just really poor driving on the part of George Russell. So the safety car is to clean the track up from all of those bits and pieces of Max Verstappen's front wing. But it's interesting that they didn't put a new nose cone. So it must not have been that big of a damage to the car. But of course, what's happening now is that, all of these cars are pretty much bunched up together. And with the driving skills, as we watch Verstappen, Ocon, Stroll, Albon. Lance Stroll is still doing very well. He's up there in 7th place. Where's Sargent's in 11th? Albon's in 8th. Carlos Sainz dropped down to 10th. And finally, Verstappen now has got out past the DRS zone of Leclerc. So now Perez has DRS on Leclerc, but Leclerc doesn't have DRS on Verstappen. So that's gonna kill him. So as Verstappen as Perez gets past Verstappen, Verstappen will let him catch up to him just a little bit, so that Perez maintains DRS, and so Perez and Leclerc will have DRS, but Leclerc won't get past because Perez will have DRS. So right now, with 11 laps to go, you could probably safely predict that this race, the podium finish, is going to be Verstappen, Perez, and Leclerc in that order, as Verstappen puts in yet another fastest lap. But hey, Leclerc did some fancy maneuvering himself and has now found himself with DRS. Just going to have to work hard to break this toe, Max. Yeah, they're right. They're going to have to work hard to break the toe. That's what he's got to do. Perez, they've all got DRS on each other. So anyway, Perez has closed up again on Leclerc as we watch Lewis Hamilton all the way back in 12th, trying to get past Alonso, which he is not able to do because Alonso's got DRS with Carlos Sainz, and Sainz just managed to get past Alex Albon. So did Alonso. So Alex Albon must be having Driver of the Day 2023. 5-win. Norris, Perez, Verstappen. 2023. It's 3 wins. Are you kidding? It's like 16 wins for Verstappen. So we had a yellow flag there momentarily, and now they're telling George to hunt down somebody. Oh, Alonso and Sainz. But it doesn't matter. He's got a 5-second penalty, so it doesn't matter where he finishes. The only thing is that maybe with DRS he can. Sergio Pérez started 11th, now 3rd. He's done a really nice piece of driving today, and he's got DRS and Leclerc doesn't. So now we're going to see with 10 laps to go whether or not Red Bull can make this a 1-2. And then keep now 1.2 seconds for Verstappen. That's a nice safety margin as Perez opens up DRS on Leclerc, and he's made up some difference. But it's going to take another lap, I think, for him to actually get past him. As Leclerc now drops 1.4 seconds behind Verstappen. So really, really interesting stuff going on here. So with the temperatures obviously making the difference in this race today, I think that's probably what has helped make this such an interesting race, is the fact that the temperatures have had an effect on the grip that these cars are managing to get out of this track, which it should be said is not a very good grip. Although right now the cars do look like that they're having a much better time of it, but why can't Sergio Pérez close that gap a little more? He's got DRS. He should be able to get past him, especially on this long straight. But he's not making a dent in him. But Verstappen is making a big dent on the two of them. Now Pérez now is up to 0.3 of a second behind. Just make sure you protect that front right tire, Max. Okay. So they're worried about a little worry there going on about Max Verstappen's front tire. Interest. Of course, that could be misinformation too. They could be the fact they're coming out and picking a right front tire replay as we watch Verstappen go past Leclerc a little earlier on. Leclerc looked like he did a better job of braking than Verstappen did there, because Verstappen passed him, and then Leclerc kind of nudged ahead of him, but then Verstappen had a better go in the in the curve than Leclerc did. So as we watch Lance Stroll go past, I'm going to think it is Esteban Ocon and not Pierre Gasly. We'll find out in a minute. As we watch now, can Perez get past Leclerc on this go around? We're about to find out. He hasn't got DRS opened. He should now, and he should make it past him. I don't know what's his deal. it's like maybe his tires are going away on him. But right now, Leclerc is actually opening up a gap on him, and he has DRS and Leclerc doesn't. Well, we're going to find out right here if he opens it up. If he's not opening it up, it means he's not comfortable with the grip that the car has on the road. But this for sure is going to seal second place, assuming it finishes like this, even in third position for Perez, and Hamilton out of the points, actually down in 11th, is going to secure Perez's position of coming in number second as he opens up DRS now on Leclerc, and let's see if he manages to take him. No, he didn't. So as they go through the chicanes, come out the other side, we'll see if he can get the job done then, because we've now got 7 laps left in the race as we watch Alonso battling Carlos Sainz for that 9th position. Excuse me, get Alonso some points. Oh, he's got points. He's in 10th, so he's all right. He gets 1 or 2 points, but he's trying to get more, of course, and get more for the team. As they try and hold off. We got Piastri in 4th position, and Perez has got past Leclerc now. Very nicely done. Something must have happened because I see. Okay, so wow, and Verstappen's really pulled away from both of them, which is going to Leclerc. Something must have happened because all of a sudden he's 1.4 seconds behind. We're going to see the replay here. He locked up his left front tire. That was just a bad piece of driving. Well, and part of it's grip, right? But he left braking too late there. So it's going to happen. He's going to have a flat spot on that tire, so it's going to be horrible to drive. And Esteban Ocon has just got past Piastri. What's going on with Piastri? He's in the pit. Piastri's gone in the pits. I was going to say, what happened there? Something happened to Piastri. He must have run out of tires. And Verstappen is opening up a very nice gap on second place, who's opening up his teammate, Perez is opening up a very nice gap on Leclerc. So with 6 laps left to go, we can pretty much solidify that prediction of 6 or 8 laps ago that it would be for Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc in that order. So the pundits that had picked Leclerc to win it, sorry folks, was good until that was just a silly mistake. I'm saying a silly mistake. Part of it, of course, George, we are still playing P4. Still playing P4. He can't do P4 because Ocon is 10 seconds ahead of Russell, and Russell is 3-4 seconds behind Ocon. So he can't do it. As we watch Lance Stroll go past Ocon, Verstappen has just put in the fastest lap, as we watch Lance Stroll, it was Fernando Alonso getting past Pierre Gasly. But a very nice day for Aston Martin. It looks like they're going to come in the 5th and 8th position, maybe if Stroll's not going to catch Ocon, who's 10 seconds up. But Alonso might catch Carlos Sainz, and he will finish ahead of Hamilton because of Russell, because of Russell's 5-second penalty. So Russell is in 6th position, and he's going to end up in he's going to end up in 9th position behind his teammate Hamilton, who is in 9th position right now. It's really interesting. Just 3 years ago, Mercedes were 2021. If you remember that, the really controversial year when Max won his first championship, Mercedes were always up there. They were second and third. They were doing podium finishes every week, and now it just doesn't happen. Then they're not even challenging. They're kind of in the realm of where we put Alfa Tauri and Alfa Romeo and at the time McLaren and Aston Martin. Where they were just race cars on the track, and it's completely different now. 5 laps to go, and I think we're settling in for a finish. Although Leclerc now does have DRS on Perez, so Max Verstappen needs to slow up and let Perez catch him. So that he maintains that he can maintain that second position as we watch Hamilton battling Alonso for that 8th position. But let's say he's 6/10 behind, so he's in DRS. But he doesn't see, although he has DRS, he is not making up much of an impression on that Aston Martin car. But a good day for Aston Martin. They're certain, no matter what happens, they're certainly going to finish in the top 10, both cars. So very, very nice day. But the Mercedes, like I said, just whatever it was, we know Hamilton just doesn't have it anymore. George has it. You see the difference in the driving. I mean, George really, really battles, but you don't see Hamilton like right now. It almost looks like he's content to stay behind that Aston Martin. He's not going to. He's going to, he's got 2 or 3 laps where he can pass him. But remember also, Fernando Alonso is not a spring chicken at this game, and he knows, as we watch Hamilton turn on DRS to try and get past him, and actually will get past him, I'm sure. And has got past him now, but it's not the Lewis Hamilton that was a couple of years ago, that's for sure. But now Alonso has DRS on Hamilton, so all exciting things. Even at the front, Leclerc is 7/10 of a second behind Perez. I really think that we've got a yellow flag. That's going to help. Oh, the Haas car, where he's pulled off. Nico Hulkenberg has just pulled off the track. So something happened with that car. So it's really not going to help Perez. But what needs to happen is Verstappen needs to slow up. Just take a slow lap, let his teammate catch up, and then give him DRS. The 2 cars working together, and just keep it like that. But I don't think it's going to happen. Verstappen is still opening up. I mean, he's got 5 seconds. He's built up a 5-second lead in 6-7 laps. It's nearly half a second. And the driver of the day is currently split between 3 guys, Perez, Leclerc, and Piastri. Piastri has had a really good day as well, even though he's going to finish down there in 11th position. He started off 20th or 19th or 20th, and his teammate, of course, crashed out. The biggest question left in this race is, can Sergio Perez hold off the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc? It's going to be touch and go, because his teammate's going to be absolutely no help at all. And he needs to get up. He needs to put up that get another 3/10 of a second up on Leclerc. He seems to be able to get through the corners better than Leclerc, but he needs a good 2-3 second cushion, which would give him nearly a full second. I'm saying 2/3 of a second. Sorry. And Piastri's just turned in the fastest lap. How about that? Because now he's got a 1 second lead, so Leclerc cannot turn on DRS. So that's some comfort there for Sergio Perez. And he's back now. He's back under that second. So it's just kind of juggling backwards and forwards. But we got 2 laps to go. So hopefully Sergio can, now he's back over a second. Now he's under a second. So we get this is really fascinating, this real-time information that they put up on the left-hand side of the screen. We've got a yellow flag in the sector 3, and it is the car of Yuki Tsunoda is pulling off, and it's back to green. So we've got cars dropping out like flies right now. That's 1, 2, 3, two in the last two. Norris is out, Hülkenberg's out, and Yuki Tsunoda is out. Danny Ricciardo is pretty much where he started, in 15th position. So we're on the 49th lap. Leclerc has gained some distance on Perez, but whether he's 7/10 now, which means he's got DRS, and you can see he had DRS open and he got it down. He only got it down 1/10, so Perez should be able to hold him off, because his teammate's been no help at all. His teammate just took off into the wind, even though he was told to look after that tire. He didn't need to put 4 or 5 seconds between him and the second place. But that's the way Max is. It's all out or it's nothing, and he doesn't care about anybody else. He cares about Max. And that's, to be a winner like this, that's what you have to be. You have to be cutthroat. I don't care about anybody else. As with Justin Bieber, I've heard that. I think I'd heard my kids talking about that guy. The name I recognize. So he might be a singer or something. A movie star, maybe? I don't know. I've heard the name somewhere. I've heard my kids use his name before, when they were younger, though. Maybe 12, 13 years old. Anyway, let's see. Leclerc now 6/10 of a second. Verstappen on the radio. What's he going to say? I should drop back and help my teammate out? They're on the final lap, so it doesn't matter as they come across. And the only question is, as we watch the 3 cars now, and you can see Max Verstappen pretty much way off into the distance, is can Sergio Pérez hold off Charles Leclerc for 3 miles, which is about what's left in the race for him. At 200 miles an hour, say an average of, let's say, 120, 130 miles an hour. So he's got about 1.5, not even 1.5 minutes now. Let's say 1.5 minutes. But what is interesting is Verstappen has slowed down dramatically because Perez now is only 2 seconds behind him. And maybe Verstappen is pulling that gap, just letting him catch up. Verstappen, okay, I'll try. Okay, I'll try what? So he is going to help his teammate out, is what it is. So he'll slow right down and let Sergio Pérez get DRS on him, and then that will assure them that that's exactly what's going on. He waited a long time to do it, kind of gave Sergio kind of no, he did. He got past him. Oh, no, on the last lap. Oh, really, Verstappen? Are you for real? Now, let's see. Let's see what Sergio can do. Sergio's not going to get past him. Sergio Pérez just took up second place. Way to go. That was Max Verstappen's fault. Yes, Max Verstappen's fault. So, anyway, makes no difference. Sergio Pérez will finish second in the World Championships as we watch the other cars come across the finish line. Very, very interesting day at the races, folks. Turns out this was a really, really interesting race. And as we finish up the race, we want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Thenology, a small data center in Austin, Texas, for their sponsorship. They provide private cloud, public cloud, storage, co-location, all things technology. That's at thenology.com. Give, Send, Go. Crowdfunding, whether you need it because something happened, you had a tough time you had a sudden medical mishap, got in a bad car wreck, maybe you just want to start a business, then they are the crowdfunder of choice. So please go to givesendgo.com. And of course, Moms for Liberty. Folks, these are the folks that you really, really want to pick up the phone, don't pick up the phone, log onto the internet, go to momsforliberty.com, join one of their chapters, create your own chapter, and get more of you moms and dads, of course, out there and get these woke folks off the school boards, get teaching our kids maths and science and English and all those things that would be good for them when they leave school and go into the workplace. Let's focus on that, and let's not focus on whether they're transgender, let's get rid of all that stuff. Go to momsforliberty.org. And of course, a big thank you to Andre Kuhn for everything that he does every week, trying to make this amateurish host of a podcaster. And I am an amateur. We've been doing it a year and a half now, and really enjoy it. But we're certainly not a professional outfit yet. Maybe one day. But certainly big thanks to Andre Kuhn for everything he does. So until Dubai, it's goodbye, and we'll see you at the next race. This is Jonathan Steele with the Formula One News Hour, wishing you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving, and hope everybody travels safe, and hope everybody has a good time with their families.